I'm going to share this video with you guys right now. This is just so you know, you're going to see what lying pigs we have in this country in this video. Everybody, listen, welcome to Delete Lawz. Welcome to the Delete Lawz channel. We are one of the fastest growing channels, over 65,000 new subs every month right now. So if you've just been lurking, now's your chance to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you do me a favor, hit the like button and drop in the comment right now, OTVO. OTVO. All right, now I want to show you this video. We won't watch this whole thing. We'll watch some of it. I put in this guy's comment section that I would promote his channel. If you see down here, I said, I'm going to cover your video and you'll gain some subs. So here's the link to his video. If you guys, I'll drop the link. And if you guys decide you like what he's saying, then you can go over and sub. But I think you should, because I have already watched this video. This video is pretty good. This is called Real Lawyers React to Driver Outsmarting Lying Pig. Right there. Lying pig right here. Change the name from cop to pig. If they're going to call themselves law enforcers, we might as well call them pigs.
Hello, everyone.
How fast do you think I was going?
You're going over 10% over the speed limit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Attorneys React, where all your favorite attorneys react to all the stupid that's going on in our world. I'm on civil law for Attorneys React, and today's video is based on a video entitled Lying Cop Gets Owned. Well, that's always a fun moment of schadenfreude when we see the cops get hoisted on their own petard, because we do see people behave.
Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is when other people take pleasure out of watching another person in pain. Schadenfreude. He says it with a little kind of Southern accent, so I wasn't sure if you heard it or not, but Schadenfreude was the word that I used the most in 2022, because I dealt with people who were Schadenfreude. They enjoyed watching somebody else be in pain or discomfort. And that's what he's saying right here is Schadenfreude.
Bad video entitled Lying Cop Gets Owned. Well, that's always a fun moment of schadenfreude when we see the cops get hoisted on their own petard, because we do see people behaving badly. Sometimes it's a suspect, sometimes it's the police, but we always try to adjudicate in a fair and neutral way here on Attorneys React. And when it's the cops that are in the wrong, we're more than happy to call them out as well. So let's take a look at this video and see what's going on in this case.
So what he's saying is he'll cop suck, or he'll jump on the bandwagon for the people. Whatever he thinks is right in the video is what he's going to do.
Get started with this.
And so the reason why you got pulled over, as you passed me, I noticed you had your phone up.
No, my phone's right here.
So he said, I noticed when I passed you, you had your phone up.
Well, maybe it was my mistake then I stand corrected.
Have a good day.
No, you're not free to go. You seem to be in a...
What do you mean he's not free to go? The basis for you pulling him over has just stopped. The police can pull you over for reasonably articulable suspicion. That's the standard for a standard roadside.
Which comes from what? That's not the standard, but reasonable articulable suspicion is the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio. A cop doesn't even have to have your radar gun locked in. He can pull you over because he's suspicious you were driving. Do you understand that? The lawyer kind of went around it. He didn't really explain it very well. It's a good video, by the way. I support the channel. I dropped him several comments to say I support what you're doing, so I'm not bashing him. What I'm saying is, what he just said, the standard is reasonable articulable suspicion. So what exactly does that mean? Reasonable articulable suspicion means that the cop can look at your car and say, I'm suspicious, and pull you over. Now, there'll be people who say, oh, no, they just can't do that, but it's happening. But not technically it's not happening. No, it's happening constantly. This cop pulled this guy over because he was suspicious he was speeding.
I'd stop, and God knows there's any number of violations that one could pull you over for, but his basis for pulling them over is using a cell phone, which is apparently illegal in this jurisdiction. Your mileage may vary as to using a cell phone, hands-free or not, depending on your jurisdiction. Look it up, but apparently that's a violation. To use the cell phone, at least be holding it in your hand while driving. This guy wasn't doing that. He says it's right here on my dash. Well, the officer says it was a mistake. I'm like, okay, I'm free to go. That should be the correct answer, because the police, when they have reasonably articulable suspicion, can only do the detention as long as the reasonably articulable suspicion lasts. Once the suspicion is extinguished, the basis for the Fourth Amendment seizure is over. When the police no longer have a basis to do the seizure, they have to let you go. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to let you go. Why are we still talking? Good question.
Was I speeding?
Yes, you were.
No, I was not.
Okay, you weren't speeding?
No, sir.
All right, your license, please.
Okay, that was a bit of a mistake by the driver here to provide a suggestion to the officer, right? Why say, was I speeding, right? The better question would have been, why am I being detained? And make the officer come up with the suggestion. It may come up with speeding, but why feed him the idea that it was speeding, right? So that is a slight mistake by our friend here. Don't do that. And now the officer's going to try to leap at that. Okay, yeah, it was speeding. I want your driver's license. All right, let's see what happens next.
Do you have me clocked for speeding, or did you pull me over for that? Because that's the first time you told me you pulled me over for that. Now you're telling me speeding.
Let me start over. Okay.
Please do.
I said I noticed you with your phone. You corrected me. You said your phone was just up.
So
You didn't have your phone in your hand, so I was mistaken. I did.
So then you got me for something else now.
Yes, sir. Okay.
You have a
so
supervisor?
I do have a supervisor. So
Why
your
don't you get
license,
him out
please. Your license, please.
What did you clock me at?
Sir, I did not clock you.
Exactly. So I wasn't speeding because I saw you whenever I turned off of Garfield, and I am obviously not going to speed past a cop. Whenever I passed you, I was going 16 miles an hour. It's
Okay.
25 on these 20 or 25
My
on these
supervisor is
roads.
quite a distance away. I'm gonna give you a warning, let you go. You want to talk to me, supervisor? All right, I'll call my supervisor.
So you're holding me here
You asked for a supervisor. So I'm
because you're asking for my license for no reason, because I wasn't speeding. I'm not going to give you my license unless I was speeding.
All right. So you want to?
So if you're good with it and I can drive away, I don't need your supervisor.
Okay.
But if you want my license and you're going to violate my Fourth Amendment, you're absolutely getting your supervisor.
Do you want me to call my supervisor?
Do you want my license?
Yes, I want your license.
Your supervisor.
That was a weird.
An interesting exchange there on the law, by the way, because this goes to the issue of who is extending the stop,
This is important. Listen carefully to what he says here.
right? So if the person, the driver, is the one extending the stop, then the Fourth Amendment concerns go away because he's the one extending the detention, right? You can continue to talk to the police as long as the police will let you, right? There's nothing stopping you from talking to police. So he says, I want a supervisor. Now, if he's the one making the request, then that moots the Fourth Amendment concern. But he's being a little bit clever here because he's like, okay, I'm only asking for a supervisor if you want my driver's license. Very, very interesting on that basis. So as to the underlying speeding idea, it is true that if the officer had multiple different bases, that he could obviously pull you over for multiple different reasons, right? If you're speeding and you have a tail light out and you have a cell phone up on your ear and this and this and this,
Right.
Obviously each of them would give an independent basis for the cop to pull you over. And the probable cause or reasonably articulable suspicion, as the case may be, would have to be extinguished for all of them. Now, what's interesting here is that the officer said he didn't clock him, which is to say that he wasn't using a radar gun. That isn't required in any jurisdiction that I'm aware of, that to actually use a radar gun.
He can just be suspicious of you and pull you over. That's Terry versus Ohio, which is why it's what I talk about all the time. The only reason a cop should be able to pull you over is if you've broken the law.
For the purpose of conducting a speeding, because, you know, obviously if an officer sees someone just flying down the street, they can pull you over even if they don't have their radar gun at that moment. And they are allowed to estimate your speed. They can use their eyes and other traffic to make estimates. The fact that he's obviously lying is more of a problem because he didn't observe him speeding. He's just making shit up. That didn't happen. None of this happened.
I mean, they keep doing it all over this country. Everywhere we look, cops are just making up charges.
Officer is just trying to save some face. He's like, well, I'll let you off with a warning. You know, I just want to see your driver's license so I can let you off with a warning. The officer is clearly lying.
So those are fellow officers, not my supervisor. Supervisor outside town, so he's coming over, okay?
Great use of resources there.
I'm sorry?
Great use of resources there.
Okay, you asked for a supervisor, so.
Well, because you're trying to violate my Fourth Amendment.
Sir?
Are you or are you not? Why
He's
do you
not
need
gonna
my
admit to
license
that.
if I wasn't speeding? If I didn't commit an infraction, why do you need my license?
Visually,
You can't pace from sitting still. You cannot pace
sir,
from
I'm not
sitting
going to
still.
argue with you, okay?
Well, then prove your point.
So let
I don't think that's legally correct. I think you can pace from sitting still, right? You can make an observation, right? You can obviously, pacing is the idea that I was traveling at 25 and you were passing me, so you must have been going faster than that, right? But can you pace from someone standing still? Yeah, possibly. I mean, he'd obviously have to base that in court to say how he did that. Based on my training and experiences, of course, what the officer will say. You know, based on my training, experience, and my observations, I observed that this guy was going 50 miles an hour on this 25-mile-an-hour road. Yeah, that's
Right. And what's the cop's training? He used to work at a tire factory. The cop's training is he dropped out of minor league baseball. The cop's training is what? What's his special skill set? As you know, as you've seen me, I've destroyed cops all over this country. because the simple fact of the matter is that cops don't have any skills. They served in the military so they can take orders. A quarter to 30% of our cops are all ex-military. Why? We don't need warriors as cops. It's going really bad. It's going really, really poorly. And this is
That's probably going to be upheld in court, but the officer's clearly lying. So can he do it? Yes. Did he do it? No.
How do you know I was speeding? I'll sit here and shut up. You tell me how you know I was speeding.
Visually, you came up rapidly behind me. You were speeding. My interpretation, I didn't get your radar.
Here's where the cop completely screws himself.
So that is why I told you were speeding. Okay?
You don't know that, so you don't get my license.
You don't have to give me a license. You want a supervisor? I asked you, I can give you a verbal, let you go. You want my supervisor? My supervisor's on his way. So that's where.
No. You wanted my license to give me a verbal. This all would have been done if you wouldn't have said you needed my license for nothing.
You heard what I said?
That you don't know any violation and you wanted my license.
You were speeding.
I was not speeding.
That's your interpretation and mine.
No, that's the fucking truth, because it said 16 miles an hour on. I'm telling the truth. You wanted to ID me. You guys don't like it when citizens don't bow down to you.
So you don't have to bow down to me.
Then let me be on my damn way without violating my Fourth Amendment.
You can argue and say what you want to say.
Get out of my fucking face, dude.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that.
To be hostile and angry, the cop.
Now back to the video.
I mean, he has every right to be hostile and angry. The cop is clearly lying. He's obviously lying. He didn't observe him speeding. That isn't what he said. He said, I observed you with your cell phone in your hand. My cell phone is right here. Okay, my mistake. End of reasonably articulable suspicion. The reason that you articulated the cell phone is no longer valid. And now you want to be like, oh, it was speeding. But if you ask me, I believe this guy. I think the cop is clearly making stuff up.
Oh, wait, the cop's going to prove that he's making stuff up right here.
Don't make stuff up. It's bad.
Why do you have me stop right now?
Don't.
You want to start over?
And I will too.
Okay.
And we can shake hands and be done. I will calm down.
Sir, I'm calm. Exactly, sir. So I'm driving. I saw you behind me. I saw the phone up. I thought you had your phone in your hand. Okay. So I pulled you over because of the phone.
That's it.
When I came up here, you corrected me and told me, and this, you're right. It's on the mount. You said it was on the mount. I said, sir, I stand corrected. Exactly.
Have a good day. You're on your way.
No, and I said you were speeding.
No, only after you asked.
We're going to start over.
We're starting over, but you're still wrong. We can start over, but you're still wrong.
You can be right. We can all be going back and forth. I'm just explaining. You asked me to start over. I'm just saying what I saw and what I interpreted. And I did not get you on radar. You're exactly right. I did not.
You pulled me over for that phone and you were wrong.
And I corrected myself. I told you.
But you still got to get that license. It's like crack to you guys. I don't understand. You gotta have it. Let me have that license. How fast do you think I was going?
You're going over 10% over the speed limit.
You're out of your mind, bro.
Sir, my interpretation.
You're out of your mind. So if the speed limit here is it 20 or 25? I was doing 16. Is it 20 or 25 right here?
I don't know. You tell me.
You doesn't know.
He doesn't know what the speed limit is.
He doesn't know.
How does he know he was going 10% over the speed
limit? How can he say he's doing 10% over if he doesn't know the speed limit?
Without knowing what the speed limit is? That reasonably articulable suspicion is looking even more shaky than it was. So he's clearly lying. You were going 10% over the speed limit. What is the speed limit? No idea. Well, that's a neat trick. Don't know how that one's supposed to work. Wow. This officer really wants to save face. Woof.
Oh,
no, you tell.
Okay, I'm going to let you guys go over to this guy's channel to finish the rest of this video, get him a view or two, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Give him a little love. He's showing us something that we didn't see yesterday. So I'm grateful for him for doing that. You got the long and the short of it. I want you guys to go to his channel. I dropped his channel in the link in the thing, and DLZ clips. Make sure we put that in the description of this.